Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa is filling in for Jess. And we got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed. He's back.
Will.i.am.
What's up, y'all?
Good morning. How you feeling?
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me back. It's always great to be here.
I mean, you never come, and every time you come, you give so much information, so it's never enough to have you once.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
know?
It means a lot. And congrats.
Oh, thank you.
I like watching you on the Daily Show. It's really, really dope.
I appreciate that, my brother.
Now, you got a new program that's designed to take us out. That's what I see.
No, it's
radio
not.
personalities, DJs, getting us about it. We're interviewing the guy that's taking us out.
They said you came to the radio station to announce that they would probably need to resign.
Yeah, that we going to need to resign. We might need a job. Shout the head in the back. Pause.
Is the name of it Radio.FYI or is it FY.AI? Which one is it?
It's Radio.FYI.
Radio.FYI, okay.
So break down this new platform that's going to be taking our jobs.
All right. So it's not going to take your jobs. A lot of people are when they think of the word AI, they they think that their job is going to be threatened. And there's some jobs that will be unstable.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, I created Radio.FYI to like augment and dimensionalize, radio.
Mm-hmm.
I love radio.
Mm-hmm.
And in no way do I want to like put something out that will disrupt or unstabilize this format, this community, this way of like informing and engaging. That's like the last thing I want to do. But when I was doing my show on SiriusXM, I realized like, wow, check this out. I got something that could go out and fetch information in real time and expand my knowledge as I, engage or inform. And I wanted to do that for all DJs and hosts and journalists. Why should I be the only person that has like this super tool?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're broadcasting, you now have a different co-star or co-host or a seat. For example, like Charlamagne's there with his computer, Lauren's there with her computer. You got your phone. You got the cameraman there. If this was like radio in 1950, there was no computer, there was no phone. And there was no camera.
Mm-hmm.
So you've added new technology to your broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going out there and try to get a job without a bank account, without a laptop, without a phone.
Mm-hmm.
You can't work in the workplace without these tools. So when it comes to like a broadcast or radio, why not have something instead of typing the information and then reading through it, something that you could banter with live about what the broadcast is.
Okay.
So you wouldn't need a co-host, basically.
No, you still need a co-host because you need something to banter with it.
Okay.
Mm.
But
you
it
need
was
somebody
like
to fact check it
Okay.
and break it. Right? Just like if you got somebody here and somebody dropping BS, you're like, I don't really know about that, Charles.
I got what
So
you're
I
saying.
get you.
Yeah.
Got you.
And then Charles
Got
would
you.
have to be like, okay, here's what I'm talking about.
So if you're in here having a conversation with a politician and they're talking about some legislation,
And they're BSing.
you
Yeah.
can call them on it right then and there. Got you.
You could be like, yo, AI co-host, is this dude capping? And the AI would be, it got infinite ability to go out and get the right truth and knowledge. But sometimes it could hallucinate. Then you got to push it and push it and push it to break it. It too could make errors and mistakes just like a person can.
Mm-hmm.
It's built off of a neural network.
So,
But it adds for a richer, real-time, deeper engagement on the information you're trying.
So students can use this in school too. So if a teacher's teaching and the teacher's not teaching
you can't take
the
that
proper
into
thing, you
class.
can say, like, teacher, this is BS.
That's how you.
I graduated.
'Cause it's a-
Not at
it's a-
HBCU.
it's
Them
a
black
fact
teachers
checker.
gonna be like, you in that bot, better get out of here.
But it's a fact checker, right?
Yeah, it's a fact checker. I use it at Harvard. I graduate this year from Harvard. I use
Congrats.
my AI as like a study buddy. Like for example, it was mathematicians or, at one point in time it was like taboo to rock into a class with a calculator.
Mm-hmm.
Now people that are building, tall ass buildings, simulating them to where they're earthquake proof. You need calculation. You need these types of simulations to erect awesome buildings. So calculators have now been accepted in school. In the next couple of blinks, it will be, the norm to have these agents or AIs in the learning environment.
So a teacher would be like, Christopher Columbus founded America, and the calculator and the AI would be like, bullshit, and then they explain what it is.
It can't disrupt though, right? You said it's not supposed to disrupt.
What do you mean disrupt?
It won't interrupt the class, like what he's saying,
No, it won't.
or will it? Because that's my whole thing with like you take that bot into certain classrooms and it's interrupting the class. It's like, how is that?
But you got to prompt it before. It don't just talk.
It's not just gonna be like bleep bleep. It ain't gonna be like some R2D2
okay.
where it's
All
just
right.
gonna start.
Oh, so this is an actual.
Oh,
No,
my
no,
God,
no. Or is it
it's
just
on
like
the
a-
phone,
on
man?
the
She said
phone.
take it with you.
Oh, 'cause
She said
I'm
take it
thinking-
with you.
Hey, yo,
Yeah.
so check us out. So, like I said, remember when we was talking, and I was like, they probably gonna get freaked out and say like jobs are gonna be taken. Exactly what just happened. But anyway, say what's up. We here. I told you I was gonna bring you on to the show. Say what's up to everybody. We started.
Hey yo, what's up Breakfast Club fam? Thanks for having me. Yo, like I said, I knew there might be some worries about jobs being taken, but let's clear the air. This is about enhancing, not replacing. We're here to elevate the game with Radio.FYI. Saying what's up to Charlamagne, DJ Envy, and Lauren, and a big shout out to Jess Hilarious on maternity leave. Let's get into it, you feel me? Alright, let's dive into this. What do you...
Yo, so I was telling them that like if you're doing a radio show, you got a laptop or you got a computer, with systems like you, it's like a conversational laptop phone that's able to go out and crawl and get like real-time information. For example, why don't you pull up some of the highlights from yesterday's DNC in Chicago right quick so we could get into some of the hot topics that people were are talking about based on some of the speeches.
Hey,
pull
so
up
check it
images.
out, fam.
Wow.
We got the latest buzz from yesterday's Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Just like I told you, with Radio.FYI, it's like having a conversational laptop that can pull in real-time info. Here's what popped off. Day one highlights. Speakers. We had heavyweights like Hillary Clinton, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Jill Biden, and President Joe Biden himself dropping gems. Today's lineup, Barack Obama and Michelle Obama will be headlining today. It's about to be a homecoming as they're back in the Chi, showing love and supporting Kamala Harris's nomination. Key points, Hillary and AOC were on fire talking about the future of the party, while Jill and Joe focused on the achievements and plans moving forward. It's 8:28 a.m. right now in Chicago, where it's all going down. What y'all think about these hot topics and speeches? Feels like the energy is through the roof, right? Let's dive into it.
I get it.
I can see why you still would need people.
Yeah.
You still
At the
need-
same time,
yeah,
it's
because I
like-
could then go in there and could be like, okay, so did they say anything about like AI in this conversation? As you know, we're in a presidential election, we have new platforms. So by time that it's 2028, the world's gonna be totally different.
Right.
So when they talk about the future, are they talking about the future of like forever learning? Are they talking about the jobs that are most likely to be disrupted, like white collar jobs, financial advisors or lawyers,
Right.
or the creative space?
But who
I think-
programs that though? Like who
Can I
makes
ask you
sure?
a question?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
No, it's a serious
Please.
question.
Why
I
you asking
really-
us-
Long press on that. Long press
But
on the mic.
but also while he's doing that, who
Long press on the
programs
mic.
this to make sure they program the right information?
Like you, like almost like a chirp, like next to.
Did Kamala Harris vote to stop taxing tips in 2022?
Put it next to the mic.
So, fam, there isn't a specific vote in 2022 where Kamala Harris acted to stop taxing tips. As vice president, she's more involved in executive actions and tie-breaking Senate votes rather than specific legislation like this. You feel me? However, the topic of taxing tips is always relevant in broader discussions about fair wages and workers' rights, especially amongst service industry folks. If we want to dive deeper into this, we should look at overall legislative efforts around wage and labor rights. What do you think, fam?
So it's right.
Good to keep moving.
Yeah, he's absolutely right because that didn't happen.
How do you make
Like
sure?
there's a rumor online. There's an Instagram meme going around saying that she did that, but that it never happened.
But that's my question. Who programs
yeah,
this?
like how do you make sure it's right?
Yeah, how do you make
so-
sure it's right? Because
So our crawler architecture is getting information from credible sources. So we'll get from political sources that are RSS feeds that are feeding the truth information. What we don't do is crawl the open web. That's when you fall into like a bunch of capping, a bunch of hallucinations and fake news when it's trying to source everything that's out there. So we get it from credible sources and only credible sources. And if you ask it a question that it doesn't know, it's gonna be like, I don't know the answer to that.
You know what I like about this? I feel like it could revolutionize the podcast game. You know what I mean? Because that's one of my biggest issues with podcasting is that and not even just podcasting, it's anybody with a platform, but in particular like the YouTube spaces, the podcast spaces, there's so much misinformation. And I've been seeing these kids online using Chat GPT to get information in real time. So if they start using that, I mean.
Especially because all the news right now, like, it's coming from social media, and a lot of social media, people just regurgitate information. So if you have that, it kind of counters. But to your point of like it not just spanning the web, right? Like when everything happened with the Olympics, when they were having a conversation about the fighter, whether she was transgender or not, there were valid sources that were having a transgender conversation, like she was a transgender woman. And there were also valid sources that were not having it and saying that she was not. In a situation like that, how would that AI bot know which one to lean on?
Was Aman, what's her name?
Khalif?
Let's ask it. Was Aman Khalif born with a penis?
Jesus Christ.
Hold on.
I don't think he talked to it like that.
If it's a transgender conversation, the person wouldn't have been born.
But just ask ask if Aman was a
you're right.
transgender.
It's a transgender woman.
You know that girl that was on the Olympics that everybody was saying.
We try to be
Aman Khalif.
You know that girl. Oh, sorry.
Aman Khalif.
Okay, cool,
but
cool,
if that's how you talk to your bot, you have to talk like that all the time, or can like?
No, I just talk to it like I talk
like
to
a
the
homie.
homie.
Okay.
It don't understand that?
Do your thing. Go ahead.
But that was him talking to the homie. Yo,
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
You know that girl that they thought was a transgender in the Olympics. I think she's from Northern Africa and whatnot. And then she was boxing somebody in the home. The girl that she was boxing said she hit hard, so she had to be a dude. One, what's the girl's name, or the person that they said is transgender's name? And what was the mix-up behind it? Why did social media get it wrong if they got it wrong? Is it right? Is it correct? I just need to know the information. Sorry for being vague and asking the question. I'm representing the majority of the people out there that were confused about the matter.
Wow.
I got you, fam. The athlete you're referring to is Caster Semenya from South Africa.
No. Wait. No.
You
the
said South
boxer.
Africa. I don't think she's from South Africa. Though.
Yes, she is.
The
From
boxer.
Nigeria. That's North Africa.
Okay.
The boxer from North Africa.
Gotcha. My bad, fam. Talk about boxers from North Africa. Let's sort this out. 1. Athlete name. As of now,
The athlete in the Olympics, the boxer that hit that chick so hard, she thought she was a dude, and then
She's from Algeria.
from what?
Algeria.
From Algeria. You know what I'm talking about?
Aman Khalif.
all right, fam, I've got the scoop. The athlete you're talking about is Imane Khalif from Algeria. Here are the deets. Athlete Imane Khalif. Sport, boxing. Controversy. Imane Khalif has been surrounded by gender controversy and faced baseless accusations regarding her gender identity. These allegations came after she won Olympic boxing gold and hit an opponent so hard that it sparked debate about her gender. Right. Despite questionable claims of unspecified gender testing by the International Boxing Association, the International Olympic Committee, IOC, stood by her, affirming that she was born a woman and identifies as her biological gender. Social media impact. Misinformation spread quickly, making her a central figure in culture wars. Khalif faced what she described as a digital lynching amid these allegations. Imane Khalif is rocking it, legit. What do you think, fam?
The question is, how do you... Okay, so say, for example, I asked you this question the day of when social media was circulating a bunch of, falsedoms and mad capping. How would you decipher the truth from the noise? You being an AI agent or, a conversationalist, how would you get the right information, or would you circulate falsedoms?
Aye, that's a solid question, fam. Let's break it down. Separating the truth from noise. 1. Source verification. Always start by checking multiple credible sources. Look for news from verified outlets like BBC, Reuters, or AP News. These platforms have rigorous fact-checking processes. 2. Cross-referencing. Compare information from different sources. If multiple reputable outlets are reporting the same facts, it's more likely to be true. 3. Official statements. Seek out statements from
But in this case, multiple situations were fanning and reporting what we now know as false. So, how would you decipher between the two? Because then they'd have to apologize for circulating falsedoms. Because if you have, 10 sites, 6 of which are reporting falsedoms, 4 of them are true, and social media is amplifying and circulating them even more, you being an AI agent and an AI persona, how would you decipher what is true or not? Or would you partake in circulating falsedoms as well? I'm curious to know.
Got you, fam. Deciphering the truth amidst the sea of falsehoods is like finding the real diamond in a pile of glass shards. Here's how I'd tackle it. 1. Source credibility. Trust established sources. Prioritize information from well-established and reputable sources over lesser-known ones. Major outlets often have stricter editorial standards and fact-checking procedures.
That's crazy.
Track record. I'd look at the track record of the sources. If a site has a history of reliable reporting, it's more credible. 2. Official statements and primary sources.
And to make it, you're probably going to have like 7. I'm sorry for interrupting you. I'm just on the radio right now. If I wasn't on the radio, we could just banter all day. And you do this in how many seconds? Because it would take me like a day just to go through it.
Not a good journalist.
Or a journalist would take them hours. How fast are you going through all these sources to be able to get the truth and compare and do your analysis?
No worries. I get it. Radio keeps you on your toes. So, let me break it down quick and clean. Speed of analysis. Milliseconds. I can aggregate data from multiple sources.
He just
run
took my
initial
job.
checks in milliseconds.
No, they take your... Let me pause it.
Does the AI
It feels like it's a great companion.
Literally,
It does.
everything he just described that day is what I did. I got online. I looked at who's saying yes, who's saying no. I was like, okay, because I know the inner workings, I know their processes, so who is most credible all the time? And then I said, there has to be an official committee making a statement, and I looked for that, and CNN had it. And then I went with that because I have someone dependent on as a journalist if it's wrong. He literally did everything I would do. He did it in milliseconds.
Yeah, but now...
It took me like 10 minutes.
So now imagine you... Okay, so what's the best way to looking at it? Nike's Nike.
Mm-hmm.
Nike has their swoosh logo. Nike also has their Just Do It tagline. Well, why the tagline? Why do they have to have a tagline? Why can't their logo do everything and the name Nike? Why the tagline? Well, the tagline is going to give you like a different perspective on what Nike is about.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, this AI is your tagline.
Gotcha.
You're still you. You still are going to represent your truths and how you go out and report that truth. You just now are doing it at the speed of light with something that you could banter with. And more importantly, if you then go engage on social media, one day you're going to have your Lauren AI, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be synonymous with you, like Nike's logo synonymous with Nike, like their tagline synonymous with Nike. You're going to have your thing.
That's a great analogy.
And so from that perspective, if you wanted to engage online, you only could engage with maybe 5 people in 10-minute span time.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, your AI agent can talk to 1 million people at once, summarize all of its engagements, and then have one conversation with you.
Does your AI
You know
have
why that
feelings?
analogy is so
That's
good?
literally like a newsroom on your phone.
It is.
But you know why that analogy is so good? Because with the Nike thing, it's like Nike also has all of these different people with different signature shoes, but it's still Nike.
Right.
Yeah.
But you still feel like you're wearing different things when you're wearing
Jordan and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
But does your AI have feelings? And the reason I ask that is
God.
because you're
Because
very
he's
proper.
light-skinned.
It's like, because really, he goes, I apologize for cutting you off. We can talk about this later in banter. Can you, you talk talk to it like, I apologize, I'm sorry for cutting you off. So does it have feelings if you didn't apologize? Would it talk back to you rude?
Oh no, that's just how I was raised.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, I
West Coast.
you say?
West Coast.
Yeah, I'm just raised that way to like.
He was like, I'm sorry for cutting you off right now, but you know, we can get back to banter later. I apologize. And it's
so
like, okay,
fire.
fam, it's okay for cutting me off. It's just weird that it's an AI.
Yeah, and that's just the conversational piece. The radio piece. I'll show you this one station that we have. Okay. Start over.
FYI Radio.
It's so exciting.
Good morning, Will.i.am. You're tuned into FYI.RAiDiO, where we put the AI in radio. Dope? It's a fantastic Tuesday morning here in Atlanta, and I hope you're enjoying the vibe.
I'm in New York. I'll be in Atlanta in a couple of days.
Hey there, Will.i.am. I see you're planning to travel to Atlanta in a couple of days. What a perfect time to arrive, just in time for Invest Fest week. It's going to be action-packed with all sorts of financial insights and business discussions.
Wow.
Let's get you in the mood with some great music. Enjoy this tune from Aerostar Commas. Stay tuned and have a fantastic trip to Atlanta.
How do you know you're going to do investment? Because you're on the bill? Or?
I think it's just telling you current things that are in the area, right?
Yeah,
that are
so-
like similar to your interest.
So this is a Earn Your Leisure station.
Okay, okay.
So we took everything that Earn Your Leisure does, collaborating with the guys, aimed it all at a station. And so now this station is reporting Earn Your Leisure POV.
Got you.
So I could ask questions about investing. I could ask questions about everything that it's reporting to really like knowledge up on finance, and dig deeper in all the things that are important to Earn Your Leisure, or in this case, for all cases, any station by any creator or curator of that station. And so what we did with FYI.radio, Radio.FYI, is that we simulated how it goes from information, talk bed under it, asks you a question like, hey, why don't you hit that mic button to engage
Turn that
on
music
this-
down so people can hear you.
But also to copyright, right?
Right.
Copyright.
That don't matter.
Okay.
So you're talking. It talks over music, and then as it's giving you the information, it says, "Hey, why don't you hit that center mic button to if you have any questions on what we're reporting, or if you're confused about what we're reporting, or if you want to go deeper and banter on what we're reporting." And then after that discussion, be like, "Okay, we're gonna go to a song. Here's such and such by such and such." And then after that, it'll come back and then tell you more segments on hot topics, current events, or how the market's behaving, how investments are, blockchain, Bitcoin, whatever it is that the subject is or the broadcast is. You could go deeper and deeper, wider and wider, broader and broader on that feed.
I feel like Spotify, I feel like Apple, I feel like iHeart, I feel like everybody should be investing into this
Every streaming
technology.
I showed this to Bob Pittman, and he was like, "Yo, we need to meet with Pullman." So he was like, "Meet me on the tarmac," and Van Nuys. I showed it to Pullman and Pittman. They were blown away by it, and then Ashley from Global saw it. But to your point, traditional radio folks were like, "I see what this is.
Yep.
I see what it is you're trying to do." But more importantly, usually this technology comes from like folks that aren't from our community, and then we're forced to have to reckon with outsiders that don't really care about the sensitivities and the fabric of like what we call life.
Right.
And so, and it rarely ever does it ever come from us. Like Beats music came from us with Trent and Jimmy and Dre and myself and the if this was an SUV, I was in the back seat, but it was cool. I love being a part of the Beats family. But in this case, it came from my brain and my co-founder, CTO Sunil's, and Julie Pilot, who used to be at KISS. And we have a great little small team at FYI, and we envisioned this, and we launched it on National Radio Day, August 20th.
Well, you know, Will.i.am got to go. He has a 10 o'clock that he has to get to.
Can we one more question?
Yeah, of course.
How do you feel about, because it seems like you're really into like making this like factual and accurate so it doesn't scare people. When you see all of the fake AI videos, like the one right now, like Trump and Kamala walking on the beach and like just some of the misinformation, how do you feel about that? And how do people protect themselves? Like people that want to invest in this, like how do they protect what they're investing in so that it doesn't end up like that?
Okay, so what I see like text to image, that's Photoshop on steroids. Mm-hmm. Like in early 2000s, I could take a picture of anybody, put it in Photoshop, and take hours editing the picture to do whatever you wanted it to do with it. Like that has always existed since computers, since paintings. Like, a motherfucker could paint anything on a canvas and use their imagination to do that. Photography, you could, if you were real slick with the photography, you could do some type of manipulation on that. It's art and expressive. And it's to the viewer to decide, well, is that real or not? And because we live in a world where misinformation is now entertainment, and then what turns into entertainment gets distorted as truth, because people have like objectives that are ulterior motives to deceive people or confuse people. We as the viewer and the listener, we have to just be a little bit more, cautious of like, is this fake or is this real? Like we need to put it in our society as just people in this digital society where it's indistinguishable from the information that we get and what's real and what's fake. We need to take more caution. It's like when you walking down New York, you got to look left or right. When you go to London, you got to look right or left. Like when you crossing the street, you got to be mindful. You ain't just out there like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. So when you're crossing these digital streets, you got to be mindful.
But that app, and I know you got to go, that does everything, right? So like even if you're in sales and you have to write a 30-second spot for, let's say you're wearing Gucci, a 30-second spot for a Gucci shirt, that's a new line, you can put it in there, that 30-second slot will come right out. So you don't necessarily, it'll help the sales department as well.
Oh no. And by this time next year, it will be the sales. You'll be able to purchase through it. You'll have a now that host is now your sales agent, and you could transact. It will have GPS, turn by turn GPS. So if you're in a car, or if you're walking on a bike, you have your radio station, and that station not only telling you the traffic, it's also giving you like a better route. Wow. Also, like I want to purchase this, and when you get to the place, you just pick it up. If you can't pick it up, it could also connect to like a some other type of agent or a person to go out and pick it up for you. Like I want to take radio and do what radio would never been able to do. And that is for transactions, real-time information, assistance and guidance, but more importantly, take a DJ or host and supercharge them.
Every time you come here, man, I feel like I'm not using my brain enough.
Yeah,
I mean, every
you download
single
that?
time.
Like, how do we get that?
Oh,
so FYI, you go to FYI.AI. Radio is out. Our personas are there. We built by InvestFest, we built a persona for the Earn Your Leisure team. So they'll have they're one of the first folks to get their own voice for their station. We would love to do like a Breakfast Club station.
Would love to.
We have a meeting with Time now. Like hopefully this meeting goes well. Just putting it out there in the universe.
That's so dope, man. Just think about it. If you're a DJ and you're listening and you're going to a market that you're not familiar with, you could ask AI what's the hottest songs in that market, and it'll give you a list of the hottest songs in the market.
Does it know like your personal opinions and stuff like so? Like in like a Drake Kendrick, like can you make it say things and do so that the host doesn't have to be the person that like, oh, this opinion is coming from this person. It's like, no, it was my AI co-host. Like, is that a thing too?
If we built a persona for Lauren, you could make your persona however creative. You could have it have a stance. We just don't support like, I don't want to make like hateful agents. I don't want to like distorted like.
Who won in the beef? This one won.
Yeah, because the host got to get into stuff sometimes, and sometimes people don't want to. So I'm thinking like people would lean on a bot so that you don't have to be the person that is the face of what was said. They wouldn't do that.
There's a thin line that I don't want to cross. Like, yes, you can do that. We're at a place you could have it do whatever you want it to do, but we don't want to go that. We want to cross that.
We don't
line.
need no AI shock jocks.
Right.
You know how the people gonna get with stuff. That's
Will,
all
I got a
asking.
meeting. He got to go, y'all.
Yeah,
They
sorry.
wrap me
It's
up.
just so interesting. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, Will.i.am.
We appreciate you for
You
joining
will not
us,
be a
brother.
billionaire without us. Okay.
If there's a way, like seriously, like there's a way to like rock with you, Charlamagne, and get your insights, have you be rock with us, have stake in what we're doing.
I'd love to.
Participate in the upside. It would be an honor.
We don't have to talk about that on the radio. I'd love to. I was going to talk to you about that off air.
All right. It's Will.i.am. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.